"Officers, this man did this to me. Take him to jail." She tried to pin her own mistake on me. Classic Karen behavior from the very start. I had warned her endlessly about boundaries, signage, locks, and just plain common sense, but entitlement has a way of making people deaf. My farm sits right at the edge of an HOA neighborhood, green, quiet, and fully mined by law. I've never signed a single HOA agreement in my life. I grow mangoes for a living, not drama. And yet, drama kept sneaking over my fence at night. Welcome Tummy Channel. Be sure to like and subscribe for your premium dose of HOA chaos. It all began when my security cameras picked up movement in the orchard, a shadow slipping where shadows had no business. I zoomed in, expecting raccoons or bored teens, but the lens revealed something far worse. There she was, HOA President Karen herself, pale hair tucked under a visor, hopping my fence like it was a public walkway. She moved quickly, shoving ripe mangoes into a tote, eyes darting around with the confidence of someone who had never been told no. I wound the footage over and over, disbelief giving way to anger with each replay. That fence was marked, reinforced, and maintained, and yet she treated it like a polite suggestion. Trespassing is still trespassing, even when you hold a title and threaten fines. I saved every clip, time-stamped everything, and let her think she was invisible. Sometimes the smartest trap is patience, especially when arrogance does all the work for you. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't call the police. I wanted the pattern, the proof, the full story before making noise. Out here, farming teaches you timing, and mango trees reward patience. What Karen didn't realize was that every step she took onto my land only tightened a net she couldn't escape. While she thought she was stealing fruit, she was delivering leverage to me every night. I stayed quiet, watched, and let the orchard breathe. Knowing this was just the beginning. Right here, before we dive deeper, drop a comment telling us which city or country you're watching from. We'd love to see how far these stories travel. The next morning, I headed straight to their HOA office. Boots still dusty, temper firmly in check. The building looked exactly like you'd imagine. Fox stone walls, motivational posters about community harmony, and a receptionist who avoided eye contact like it was contagious. Karen was inside, door ajar, already raising her voice at someone on the phone. I didn't knock. Farmers don't knock when livestock escapes, and Karen was already trespassing. I calmly told her I had CCTV footage of her trespassing and taking mangoes from my farm. No insults, no shouting, just slow, deliberate facts. She laughed. I mean, really laughed, and said, "I must be mistaken." According to her, my land supposedly bordered community property, which in Karen speak meant anything she could see belonged to her HOA. I reminded her that my deed had no HOA fine print. Her smile thinned. When I mentioned calling the police, the atmosphere shifted. She slammed her hand on the desk and admitted she took the mangoes, claiming they just raw tea, and she was preventing waste. Then she leaned back, daring me to act because she was the HOA president, and people like me always back down. Farmers were replaceable, rules flexible, and she knew everyone who mattered. I left without a word. Arguing with entitlement only fuels it. Weeks passed. Karen kept returning, sometimes alone, sometimes with a board member as lookout. Different bags, different shoes, same theft. Each visit went straight into my archive, labeled, time-stamped, overlapping angles. I wasn't ready for court yet. I was letting her own arrogance stack the charges. Neighbors began whispering. Mangoes appeared at HOA events, neatly sliced and praised loudly. Karen strutted like royalty, handing out gifts, unaware that the orchard remembered every single theft. I still didn't act. Patience sharpens results, and something told me I wouldn't have to push this domino myself. Karma tends to sprint when arrogance jogs ahead, and Karen, oblivious, was about to trip hard. That morning, I was watching live footage, coffee untouched, the quiet stretching thin. Karen appeared earlier than usual, confidence dialed up, carrying a bag almost too large for her shoulders, like she was shopping in a store she didn't own. She scanned the road, waited for the moment, and vaulted the fence with the practiced grace of someone who had rehearsed this too many times. Mangoes fell fast, branches shaking, fruit thudding into her tote. She had grown careless. Familiarity breeds sloppy mistakes. I leaned closer to the monitor, neither angry or smug, just alert. She moved deeper into the orchard than before, reaching for the best fruit, the kind I usually save for sale. That's when impatience caught up with her. On the way back, bag heavy and rushing, she tried the same jump she had perfected countless times, but this time, her shirt snagged on a rusted hook near the fence post. One I had marked for removal weeks ago, but never got around to. The snag twisted her mid-air. She hit the ground hard. The wind knocked from her, mangoes scattering like rolling evidence. For a few tense seconds, she didn't move. I grabbed my phone and called 911, calmly reporting an injured trespasser on my property. No drama, no accusations, just her location and condition. On camera, Karen groaned, cursed, and tried to sit up, panic replacing entitlement. She shouted for help, then fumed when none arrived immediately. Minutes dragged. She struggled to stand, failed, and blamed everything: fence, ground, trees except herself. When police finally arrived, lights flashing across the orchard, she immediately changed her story. Now, she had fallen while inspecting a boundary issue. The officers listened politely, then turned to me. I played the footage. Every angle, every visit, every theft. Silence did the talking. Karen's face drained as the timestamps rolled. She argued, deflected, and accused me of spying, but the officers didn't react. Trespassing, theft, false statements. They helped her up, read her rights, and escorted her out past the same fence she had mocked so many times. Mangoes lay bruised in the dirt, and touch.as the cruiser pulled away. I shut off the monitor, knowing this wasn't over. People like Karen rarely stop swinging when they think they've lost. A few days of quiet led me to hope. She'd finally accepted defeat, but then a process server appeared at my gate, papers thick enough to fertilize a field. Karen was suing me. According to her filing, my fence was a hazard, my cameras were harassment, and her injuries were completely my fault. She claimed emotional distress, physical harm, and reputational damage. Impressive, considering the footage alone demolished her credibility. Court day arrived quickly. Karen walked in arm wrapped, face carefully composed. She told the judge she had been inspecting HOA boundaries, protecting community resources, and had fallen because I booby-trapped my property. Then my attorney pressed play. The room watched Karen hop fences, steal mangoes, return repeatedly, and lie without hesitation. The judge paused the video twice, eyebrows climbing higher each time. Karen tried to interrupt, argue context, claim intent, or misinterpret the situation, but the judge cut her off. Trespassing is trespassing. Theft is theft. Titles don't rewrite deeds. Her case collapsed in real time. Not only did she lose, but she was also ordered to pay restitution for stolen produce, fence repairs, legal fees, and emergency response costs. The total hit her like another fall, but this time, there was no one to blame but herself. Outside the courthouse, neighbors whispered, phones out, curiosity feeding on consequence. Karen now avoided cameras entirely. That same week, I filed for a restraining order. It was granted without question. She was barred from my property, my business, and any contact going forward. The HOA quietly replaced her. Meetings stopped mentioning mangoes entirely. I returned to farming. Trees don't care about lawsuits, but they remember who tends them. That season, the orchard grew heavier, branches bending under clean, untouched fruit. Karma didn't need my help, it only needed Karen to keep being Karen long enough. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserved? Comment below.